Hey y'all, welcome back to Ace of Spades University. So today I want to focus on what's called running a Boston, right? So, you know, there's a lot of terminology in spades. I love the game because it's one of strategy and logic, and it is it's complex, but it's fun, okay? So this tutorial will explain what the term Boston means in the game of spades. So just to give you guys a really quick review of the lesson that we did last time, in spades you use all 52 cards, right? And you will shuffle all of them, okay? So just to give you a quick review, in this video it shows you how to shuffle the cards, and that's important. You want to shuffle them well because you want to disperse the spades throughout the entire deck, okay? Because a Boston is when you win all 13 books. That is amazing. So you want that for yourself, of course, and not the other team. So what you do is you shuffle all the cards, and you always make sure to cut the deck to your right. Okay, so if you're shuffling, you want to slide it over to the other team member and let them cut the deck, who's ever sitting on your right hand. Okay, so you want to let them cut the deck after you shuffle the cards in order for them to, again, make sure that all the cards are shuffled and that they're evenly dispersed throughout. Okay, that minimizes any kind of, anybody saying that somebody cheated or anything like that. So you shuffle them really well, and then you always want to push the deck over and let the person to the right of you cut the deck. Okay, then you start shuffling to the left of you, and it's like clockwise. Okay, it's very important. Now, the good thing about spades is that it's a lot of fun. Like I said, it's a really complex game. The bad thing about spades is that it's played differently in all different regions. Okay. So just like barbecue, I said this before in the last video, I wouldn't say that it's necessarily wrong. It's just different. Okay. Like people from Detroit play differently than people from Cleveland, play differently than people from down south. Similar to Texas style barbecue versus Kansas City versus Memphis. Different twang, but it still has the, different flavors, but it's still the same game. Okay. So, anyway, the definition of a Boston in the game of spades is when a team wins all 13 books within one hand. Okay. This premise is contingent upon a typical 4-player, 2-team game. The term Boston means that they ran the board, quote unquote, that they won every single hand played. Now, this is a miracle hand, okay? So bravo to the winners. So if you can run a Boston, okay, this means that, first of all, you and your partner, you guys can read each other very well. And what I mean by that is, and I'm not talking about, talking over the board, because that's illegal in the game of spades. So no making up little puns and quotes and, stories about hearts or diamonds or clubs or anything like that. Like, girl, remember when we went to the club? None of that. That's what my old school aunties and uncles used to do. Like, see something with your heart. We'd be like, no, auntie, no, we don't want to hear about no heart medication. We don't want to hear nothing about that. So when the game is being played, typically, like the serious spades players, they're more quiet, and you can talk trash after you won the book or after all of the books have been played. But of course, there's 52 cards in the deck, so there's 13 books for each hand played. And when I say you read your partner very well, I mean that you don't cut each other out. So let's say that your partner, starts with an ace, and you have a king of whatever suit, you don't play that king because you hold it in your hand. You know that that'll be another book or another hand that you guys, in the next hand. You don't play that because that will be cutting them out. Because the king is right after the ace. So if your ace is played, let's say ace of diamonds, your partner plays ace of diamonds, right? And somebody else throws out a 3 right beside you. Your turn, you would play, the least diamond that you have, like a 2 or a 4 or a 5, something that's going to let your partner's ace win that entire hand, right? And then they'll lead out with another, either, whatever book, whatever, club, or I don't know, heart, whatever. But the next time that the aces, or your king, you can throw that out and win that next hand, right? So you guys play off each other very well, is what I'm saying. If you are cutting, let's say you have spades or your partner's cutting, right? You kind of defer to them and let them win that hand, and they do the same to you. That's what I mean by reading your partner very well. And that's more advanced. That's going to be in some later videos, because right now I'm just trying to get the basics down and the terminology down for you guys. But like I said, if you ever hear that term, if you ever hear somebody say, we gonna run a Boston, or we running a Boston, first of all, they have to be really good. Like I said, it's a miracle hand. It rarely ever happens. But yeah, you have to be playing the game for quite a while. Spades, like I said, I always compare spades to chess, because it's a game of strategy. It's a game of skill. And even though mostly Black folks play it, it's definitely hard, and it's not as easy as people think it is. And I love that about spades, right? I love the fact that it's almost like another language. And I said this in the last video, but I'm really grateful that I had an opportunity to learn when I was young, because the window for, I guess kind of like messing up, which everybody does. Don't let them say that, they don't mess up, that they've never reneged, or they've never, everybody has. It's just, it depends on if you're younger. Like I learned when I was 12. So that margin of error, that grace is extended, more so than if I learned when I was an adult, since I've been playing for so long. But I mean, with any new thing, you just have to practice it. And like I always say, you can, go online and practice playing spades. And it's a little tricky because they call their books tricks for, I don't know, whatever reason. But just know it's the same thing. I don't want to have that throw you guys off. So yeah, a Boston is when you and your partner have won every single hand. And trust me, you guys, I've been there. When I was younger, my aunt and my uncle, they are really good players. And they definitely did run a Boston on me and my cousin, their daughter, quite a few times at, cookouts and things like that. So it's a learning curve. You know what I mean? Like when they won every single hand, you're like, man, you know what I mean? Like, but as you grow older and more practiced and more seasoned, you'll be able to hold your own, and hopefully you'll get to a point that, you can run a Boston on people who are less seasoned than you are. Because when you look at your hand and you have almost every single spade, then, and your partner has a whole lot of spades too, it's a beautiful feeling. Or they have a whole lot of like aces and kings. You can run the entire table, and it's a great feeling. You're elated, and you're just like, I got this. So I want that for everybody. So remember, when you shuffle the deck, slide the deck to the right of you to have it cut. Then you shuffle, you give everybody a card. You should be able to have the last card as a dealer. Okay, if you shuffle the deck to everybody and you don't get the last card, then that's a missed deal and you have to throw it back in. Okay, but if your hand is looking like this and you're sitting pretty, then you should be able to, after a while, run a Boston. And you and your partner will have all the spades and you will completely run the table. And yeah, you'll be feeling great. So let me know in the comments if you guys have any questions, if you want me to explain anything more specifically about this lesson, running a Boston. But yeah, I'll continue to, give the lessons regarding the vocabulary and the different styles of playing. Because I know, like I said, the Detroit style where they have the the two of diamonds as the wild card, that throws me off a little bit because of the color coordination, and it's different than the way I learned how to play. But everyone's different, so we're gonna go over that style because the more styles that you learn, the stronger player you'll be. Okay. All right, you guys, take care of yourselves and each other. Until next time, talk to you later. Bye.